a happiness not dependent on external factors by Krishna's mercy. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavate akinchana, sarvair gunays tatra samasate sura, harav abhaktasya kuto mahadguna, manorathena sati dhavato bahi. Quote, all the demigods and their exalted qualities, such as religion, knowledge, and renunciation, become manifest in the body of one who has developed unalloyed devotion for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. On the other hand, a person devoid of devotional service and engaged in material activities has no good qualities. Even if he is adept at the practice of mystic yoga or the honest endeavor of maintaining his family and relatives, he must be driven by his own mental speculations and must engage in the service of the Lord's external energy. How can there be any good qualities in such a man? The Shrimad Bhagavatam 5:18.
There is one particular teaching I seem to notice repeatedly. I hear it all the time. At this point, it is almost like a song, with its predictable refrain. There are derivatives of the same teaching, such as the description of watering the roots of the tree instead of the individual branches. We put food in the mouth so that it reaches the stomach. This is the proper way to nourish the individual components, such as the legs, hands, brain, and vital organs. In fact, there is really no other way to feed the human being. You have to work within the system. The delivery mechanism is already there. You simply have to honor that system, respect that there is a primary point of entry. You may be able to get around that with the assistance of advanced technology, but you still rely on the majority of the mechanism for the ultimate delivery of nutrients. The teaching which I referenced is of the qualities of the devas. These are the gods. They are administrators within the material world. They are thus still bound, in a sense, except they have the highest standard of living. They are in the mode of goodness, sattva guna. As human beings, Naras, we have combinations of the different modes. We might even weave in and out of different standards during a single lifetime. Think of the person who falls so low because of drug and alcohol addiction. The same person then later becomes a pastor at the local church. They go from dejected and ignored to hopeful and respected. The teaching is that from following bhakti yoga, the individual will acquire all of the qualities of the devas. There is no reason to specifically target ascension to the heavenly region. There is no reason to pay strict attention to this ritual, or that in order to acquire a bodily condition that is entirely in sattva guna. Bhakti yoga will take care of everything necessary. This is due entirely to the object of worship. He has the power to lift his supporters into the superior position, such as when the residents of Gokula Vrindavan were protected underneath the hill-turned umbrella named Govardhan. The thing is, the devas are amazing. We might refer to them as demigods, as they can do amazing things. They have awesome responsibilities. Speaking of Govardhan, that incident involved Indra, who is the king of the devas. He can direct clouds of devastation to target certain areas. Are you telling me that through following bhakti yoga I will be able to do the same? Will I be able to create the entire universe following the lead of Lord Brahma? Will I be able to dance to effect the dissolution of the entire cosmos? Do you see what I am getting at? There are people who have been following devotional service for years who still do not see any advanced abilities. How are they like the devas then?
The teaching is directly from Shrimad Bhagavatam. The Sanskrit term of relevance is guna. In this context, it refers to a quality. As Sri Krishna describes in Bhagavad-gita, the different modes have corresponding standards of happiness. The mode of goodness is notable in that the experience might be like tasting poison in the beginning. But if you remain true to the process, then the ultimate yield is nectar. Yat tad agre visham eva. Pariname mritopamam, tat sukham satvikam proktam, atma buddhi prasadajam. Quote, that which in the beginning may be just like poison, but at the end is just like nectar, and which awakens one to self-realization, is said to be happiness in the mode of goodness. Lord Krishna, Bhagavad-gita, 1837. In terms of our understanding, Bhakti Yoga has a corresponding mode. It is described as Shuddha Sattva. This is pure goodness. The guna in this case no longer becomes an impediment. It is neither binding nor limited. It is a guna in the way the term applies to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When we speak of gunas for the Supreme Lord, these are transcendental qualities. These are glories. He is both nirguna and saguna. This is simply for our understanding. He is nirguna in the sense that no qualities can ever bind him. He is never impacted, affected, limited, or uplifted through association with material elements. After all, he controls the material nature, prakriti. At the same time, he is saguna. He has distinguishable features. These qualities are gunas, but not in the traditional sense. The acharyas enthusiastically recommend gunagau. Sing the glories of the Supreme Lord. Those glories are transcendental and also infinite, in the same way that time continues to elapse, with the compendium of history ever expanding. With every passing moment, the appreciation of the one of transcendental glories continues to increase. Narayana paraha sarve, na kutaschana bibhyati, swargapavarg narkeshva, api tulyartha darshinaha. Quote, devotees solely engaged in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan, never fear any condition of life. For them, the heavenly planets, liberation, and the hellish planets are all the same. For such devotees are interested only in the service of the Lord. Shrimad Bhagavatam 6:17-28. The gunas for the devas ultimately lands in a condition of happiness. The happiness for the devotees is on an equal level, but absent any conditions. This means that the devoted soul can be elevated to heaven, demoted to a hellish region, or remain exactly where they are. Regardless of the location, their happiness will continue. They will not need to command a cloud of devastation or administer a particular element. They do not need to assume the identity of a planet or keep watch over a specific region. If called upon to do so, they will happily oblige, but their connection to Bhagwan will remain. As Goswami Tulsidas humbly requests, the only desire is to stay in the association of the holy name. This is one way to exercise the choice in devotion, and this way is especially recommended for the individuals enduring the current degraded period known as Kali. Jal thal nabh gati amit ati ag jag jeev anek, tulsi to se deena kaham ram naam gati ek. Quote, there are an infinite number of living beings, both moving and non-moving, who have many different abodes, with some residing in the earth, some in the sky, and some in the water. But, O helpless Tulsi, for you, Sri Rama's holy name is your only home. Dohavali 37. In closing, as qualities of devas to assume, then power over clouds to presume, or to create universe given the chance, or destroy everything with a dance. Truth that the same standard to apply, in goodness without having to try, but even higher since pure throughout, serving Hari from within and without.